Today we are filming in Chamonix, where I now live. But if I open my pocket and I find snacks like this one, you can guess I'm not really from here. I grew up in Germany, far away from the mountains, and that's what our episode today is about.
1953, Hillary and Tenzing stand on top of the world. Fixed ropes, oxygen, big teeth. 1978, Messner and Haveler go without oxygen. 1980, the first winter ascent. Polished grit at its finest. Everest becomes crowded, commercialized, predictable. No oxygen, no Sherpa support. In winter, when winds reach 250 kilometers per hour. When Everest feels like 9,136 meters. Alone on the difficult West Ridge. This is about redefining what's possible. This is Jost Kobusch's Everest.
I grew up in a small village in the heart of the Teutoburger forest, pretty much in the north. It's like 2.5 hours to Amsterdam and maybe 2 hours to Cologne. As a kid, I was actually scared of heights. I wasn't able to jump the 3 meters jump into the pool in school, so I never got the silver swimming badge. Eventually, in 6th grade, when I was 12, the opportunity presented itself to join the climbing group of the school. And I was pretty scared, honestly, but I loved it. I guess I was always drawn to the things that scared me most. So I learned climbing, and when I was 16, I was going outdoor climbing for the first time ever. It was like the real rock was like, wow, it was mind-blowing. And I understood that the indoor climbing had just been preparation for outdoor climbing, which is the real climbing. And then I was thinking, that kind of climbing is probably just a preparation for like long routes in the Alps, rock routes. And those long rock routes, they're probably just preparation for higher and higher peaks, higher summits. So what's at the top there? I was thinking 8,000 meter peaks. So the dream was born to go to high altitude. And when my high school had a student exchange to Kenya, I applied. And in 12th grade, I went to Kenya for a month. And I asked everybody, hey guys, would anybody of you like to stay with me to climb Mount Kenya? The second highest peak of Africa. It's a 5,000 meter peak. The Matterhorn of Africa is technical. Of course, nobody was up for it, so I ended up hiring a cook and a guide by myself in Nairobi, and I went alone. Went to the peak, obviously did everything wrong you could do wrong, got sunburned, altitude sick, everything, but I didn't have any experience. I thought that's absolutely normal. And failed. I didn't reach the summit, but I learned a lot. And one lesson that I learned on that trip was that I don't need the cook and the porter. I can just do it by myself, and then I'm more flexible. And anyway, it's difficult to find partners where I grew up. The second thing I did was quite a technical climb in Germany. I did the Spitze with the Jubiläumsgrad, which is like a technical ridge. And I remember I was unboxing my crampons on the climb. I'd never used crampons before.
Right after high school, I joined the military. I joined an elite mountain unit where I learned a lot of mental skills, and I learned how to deal with uncertainty, which came in very handy for many first ascents to follow. But I also realized that climbing on command wasn't for me. I left early to pursue wilderness, exploration, and a space without rules.
So the third climb I ever did was Mont Blanc in the end of November, which back then I thought was winter. That's why I wanted to go, because nobody went and it was wild. From this little lineup here, you already know, I guess when I was young I had this learn or die approach. I was just like absolutely not ready for the crazy shit I did, but I just went, did it, learned a lot, also fucked up a lot. But I had a very steep learning curve, like super fast. So it didn't take long until I did my first 6,000 meter peak in Kyrgyzstan, also in winter conditions. And then obviously I wanted to go to the Himalayas, so I climbed Amadablam, my first 6,000er. I went for a solo climb back then. I would be the youngest solo climber to do it. Back then I was especially ego-driven. It really appealed to me to break these records where now I would think they're absolutely stupid. Like, if it's not the first human being, open a route, reach a summit, or do something in winter, I'm not interested. But back then I was just like, yeah, great, let's break this solo record. From there, I really took on Himalayan climbing. But I never thought I could be a professional alpinist. I had made another plan. I would study medicine and become a doctor, specialize in mountain rescue, and do alpine medicine and stuff, because I thought I wasn't good enough. And I wanted to really climb that 8,000 meter peak before starting to study medicine, because once you study medicine, there is no time to do anything. So I worked harder, I had some publications, I got some sponsors on board to finally tackle my first 8,000 meter peak, which was Lhotse. And the whole expedition completely failed. There was a big avalanche, many people died. It was a really close call. To me, it was like a rebirth. But to survive that avalanche, to me also told me that everything that happens now is a bonus. And I guess before I was really like a perfectionist. I wanted to have the perfect CV, you know, like I didn't want to have any gaps. But I realized, look, try this professional alpinist thing, and if it doesn't work, then you can always study medicine later. So I signed my first contract with Black Yak and signed some other sponsors and started a journey, which was honestly really, really scary. The first thing I did as a pro athlete was climb Annapurna 1, because it is the rarely climbed 8,000 meter peak of my dreams, trying to solo it, you know. At the same time, Annapurna 1 had a death rate of 33%. So I knew that there is a high chance I could potentially die, and the learn or die approach that I had in my youth, it wouldn't work there. It was too risky. So I really tried to, take it chill and make the summit a bonus. I'm grateful that I can be there, that I have a life, a job that allows me to do this stuff, to go out there and explore. But the summit remains a bonus. And so while everybody else was going crazy with the weather and if it would work, I was relaxing. I was just like, look, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I feel like that was an important shift in the style and in my philosophy of climbing. And I've kept that. So whenever I went for a project now, the summit remained a bonus. And ultimately, it's about the exploration. It's about being there. It's about living life to the fullest, to be very cheesy. And having good pumpernickel. What you see here are just the summits. What you don't see is the preparation. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next episode.